Welcome to Talking Technology with VI Labs. At VI Labs, we believe technology is the single greatest enabler for people with sight loss and all disabilities. If you're looking for the latest news and conversation on tech from a more accessible perspective, you've come to the right place.
Hello and welcome in to episode number 79 of Talking Technology with VI Labs. Hope you're keeping well. It's a very exciting show for us today. We have a packed show coming up for you over the next hour or so. We'll be catching up with the team at Seable Holidays. They'll be telling us all about how they're making holidays more accessible. Really interesting company there based out of the UK. They're an accessible tour operator, and they'll be telling us as well about how technology is changing things on their holidays. We'll also have Talking Technology news later on, Apple Intelligence updates as well, and a new club for JAWS users. We'll be talking all about that later on. But first, I want to jump straight into our first topic today, because I want to cross to the United States of America, because, hey, it's not just our government ministers heading to America. We're sending some of the Vision Ireland bosses over too. And the reason for that is CSUN. CSUN is a massive assistive technology conference that takes place over in the States each year. And joining us from Anaheim in California, I'm joined by Denis Nolan, our National Training Manager. Denis, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, David.
Awesome stuff. So Denis, I suppose, first question for those listeners who aren't used to CSUN is, what is CSUN and why is Vision Ireland over there?
Okay, so CSUN, it's an assistive technology conference. It's been going on every year, obviously bar the COVID interruption that had everybody messed about a little bit, but this is the 40th annual conference. So if they weren't doing it great at the start, they've certainly learned to do it brilliantly right now. They bring hundreds of exhibitors to present all the technology that they've been working on, whether it be hardware or software, and they present that in workshops. But there's also conferences and discussions going on with kind of, I suppose, tech leaders in this space. So for example, today there's going to be 36, no less than 36 discussions going on throughout the day, again, with leaders in this field, telling us all about accessibility, the technologies that are currently created, technologies that haven't really hit the market yet. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to be able to get in the middle of all of that, get to know, I suppose, advance on stuff that we already have, so that you'll be well aware of updates on existing technologies and hardwares and what the impact that might have, but also new technologies that we don't necessarily even know about right now. So it's just this great coming together of people from around the world to discuss and to show the technology that they have.
Absolutely, and it's exciting because this stuff is hopefully, if all goes to plan, this is technology that will eventually benefit our service users, which I suppose is why Vision Ireland is over there ultimately, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I know it was said famously by, I think, one of the presidents, that we don't know what we don't know. But I think that's the key to this. We do demonstrate technology back home to our service users. We bring people from different assistive technology companies over with their technology, but that's one-stop shop to be able to get every single person into that same room. And the benefit, of course, for us, we would look at technology, we would get demos of that technology, and where we could see there's a fit for what we think we need, we usually get some of that across to Ireland, get the trainers up to date on that, and then potentially with the I suppose, the aim to get that out into mainstream so service users could benefit from that.
Absolutely, and we'll be talking about some of the announcements from CSUN, the Envision Ally app, the new Insert J Club as well from Vispero. We'll be talking about all of that later on in the show. But Denis, before I do let you go, because I'm conscious it is very early in the morning where you are now, what are you most excited about seeing in the conference? Is there anything that you're looking forward to exploring yourself?
Yeah, there is, David. There was the new wearables, new smart glasses that have come out. A new startup company, Silicon Valley, Agiga. I may be pronouncing that incorrectly, but they've got new smart glasses coming out. I'm quite keen to see what they do. They've got that AI, of course, embedded within the glasses. There's also a place or a company called OneCourt, and this is real-time access to live sport. This is now a couple of things amongst many, and apparently this makes live sport accessible to anyone with low or no vision, turning game data into vibrations and audio. So I'm quite keen to see how that works out amongst many other things. But they will be some of the things I'm aiming to get kind of hands on the technology and then listen to the people that created that telling me all about it. So I'm quite excited about that.
Fantastic. Well, listen, Denis, enjoy it. Hope you have a good time. I know yourself, Sean and Colin are over there. You over for the week?
We have arrived only a few hours ago, really, and we're coming back Friday. So it's kind of a whistle stop, spin over here to look at the tech and then get back home with the knowledge, hopefully, that we've gained. Awesome
stuff. Well, enjoy it, Denis. Thanks for joining us. I know it's really early there as well. I know you've been up since 3 a.m. So thank you so much for that and telling our listeners on Talking Technology all about it.
That's great. Thank you very much, David.
And as Denis says there is loads of really exciting stuff happening at CSUN. It's always one of the biggest events. I remember growing up listening to some of that CSUN coverage on other podcasts, which is crazy now that those are one of the biggest events. The CSUN, Site Village and Site City were always the big ones that I remember listening to growing up. And you do get some really exciting announcements from those. And hopefully some of that will make its way to Ireland over the next little while too, which really would be fantastic. But for now, as always, let's get down to business with our regular programming. This isn't our podcast, this is your podcast. And as such, there are loads of ways that you can get in touch with us. And we would absolutely love to hear from you. Yes, if you would like to join the conversation, you can get in touch with us the good old-fashioned way. You can send us an email. You can send it to content@vi.ie. That's content@vi.ie. Or alternatively, you can send us a WhatsApp voice note if you would like. The number that you need there is 086 199 0011. That's 086 199 0011. And if you would like to share your thoughts, maybe you've heard about something really cool at CSUN. Maybe you've got an interest in the accessible holidays, or you've got an accessible or inaccessible holiday experience. Anything like that at all, we would love to hear from you. So do send us a voice note over on WhatsApp, or you can send us an email to content@vi.ie. But now to go through the voice notes from the week gone by, I am joined from a place that he would argue is 10 times better than the United States of America. I'm joined from Kilkenny by Mr. Joe Lonigan. Joe, how are you?
I'm good, David. And yeah, you're right. It is 10 times better. It's sunny here today, and it was nice yesterday as well. And but the weather is getting cooler. That's the only problem I have, David.
Yeah, and well, look, you know, there's a lot to like. I'm sure about humble Kilkenny there. Although Anaheim does sound nice though, and we got the boss on the podcast too, which is always fun. We're not jealous.
We're not jealous at all. Okay,
no, let's move on. Not in the slightest bit. Speaking of moving on, Joe, we got a voice note in this week from Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie was sharing her thoughts. We talked in Tech on Tap recently in the Tech on Tap newsletter about the announcement of Alexa Plus. This is a new AI enhanced version of Alexa, but Anne-Marie is not happy because Alexa Plus costs money.
No, I'm not happy that Alexa would be charging, and I would be afraid that they're going to charge everybody after a while, that they're going to gradually introduce it for the features that we've got already. No, I would not pay €19 a month for Plus, and I would be afraid that they would charge extra for everybody. I'm very afraid that they would be going to charge extra for what my 82-year-old mother is already using for free.
Anne-Marie is not a happy camper, Joe, but is she right? Like, I mean, it is good, I suppose, to see these AI enhancements, but is there a risk with this? Are Amazon getting, a bit too greedy here?
Yeah, well, I tend to agree with Anne-Marie. I suppose greed is one word for it. You see, that's what happens with all this data collection over the years. They find these new and innovative ways of making money, and they know who's going to go for this and who's not. Look, Amazon already make lots and lots of money from us. They're probably in the top 5 richest companies in the world. But I suppose, like anyone, they're going to innovate and try and make themselves even bigger. But they already make money from Amazon. Will soon be .ie, but .co.uk, the shop, and you can also buy things through your smart speaker. They get streams in from Amazon Music, and they own Kindle and Audible now as well.
Yeah, so, Twitch too. Yeah, so many different platforms.
Yeah, there's so many different platforms, and I think I don't know. I kind of agree with Anne-Marie. I think Anne-Marie has hit the nail on the head here, and this is one way they could lose a little bit of power in the smart speaker market, by, I suppose, maybe losing a step by some people might start moving over to the freer options, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Is there a world in which it's worth it? Like, to me, right, like I am probably, from Amazon's point of view, I'm probably prime target customer for this. But $19.99, I'm sorry, I'm not paying that. Like,
yeah,
it's a lot of money.
A lot. It's a
lot of money. And I think I do see Anne-Marie's point, because I think I love what the new Alexa can allegedly do. If it does it, it would be great. But it's not worth that to me. And I think there's going to eventually be too much competition for Amazon to be able to charge that in the longer run. We are seeing Apple Intelligence, although that's been delayed now. Google also doing quite a lot of work with Google Gemini. So there is, these things that there is competition. Amazon aren't just in a bubble here. They're not untouchable. But do you think Anne-Marie mentions there, her mother, she's been using Alexa in its free capacity, presumably for quite a while after getting comfortable with it now. Like, is there a risk of them charging for the existing stuff?
I think there's a small risk, of course. I think they will have to keep some free element to keep the popularity going, because I'd say there's probably people on very low incomes that love this device that will definitely not pay for features. They'd rather replace it with maybe an Apple or a Google device that's going to offer almost as good, if you know what I mean, because you mentioned them, the different values of Gemini and the Apple Intelligence there a second ago. So I think, look, if it's one way of getting pulled back into the pack, they're doing it. But time will tell. Look, I suppose one way is, for some people it will be interesting, because it might rule out those answers you get, those non-answers, I can't help you right now. And you might be able to go straight to a website, or it might give you some of those, I suppose, AI stuff that will get you straight through to the point, rather than having to ask 3 or 4 different questions. And routines and automations are going to be a big thing. But look, I suppose, how much easier can it get? We don't want everything done for us. Is it taking things to the next level that we don't really want to be taken to? But anyway, getting back to the main point, is it a bit wrong to be paying another 20 quid a month for another subscription? This is my point with everything. Many more subscriptions can we actually afford now at this stage? So I'm hoping, like Anne-Marie, that, look, It is announced to come in. I hope they mix it in with Prime or make it some way cheaper or have a second thought. And that's my view on it, David.
Yeah, no, I think it makes sense. I'm going through a phase at the moment of cancelling just different subscriptions and stuff like that, trying to save a bit of money. And I've heard anecdotally that, a lot of people are trying to do that now because there's so much that's demanding our money and squeezing our wallets that I think it just makes sense to not try and these AI tools, they're cool. But are they worth what we're paying for them? Who knows? Time will tell. The people and the market will ultimately decide. But Anne-Marie, thank you so much for the voice note. Really appreciate it. And hey, if you do want to send us a voice note with your thoughts on the cost of Alexa or anything along that line, the cost of assistive technology itself also a really hot topic. But you can send us a WhatsApp voice note. The number you need, 086 199 0011, and we would love to hear from you. So for now, thanks so much, Anne-Marie, and thanks so much, Joe. Joe will be revisiting later once we have a chat with Seable. And Seable is exactly where we're going now. Seable Holidays are an assistive, I suppose they're an accessible tour operator based out of the UK. Really interesting company, Seable. And they do their holidays. They have cited guides on their holidays. And they try to find tactile experiences to try and make their holidays more enjoyable and accessible. So last week I caught up with Lucy from Seable to tell me all about what the company does, how holidays are changing for people with sight loss, and some of the holidays that they have coming up later this year. So joining me now on Talking Technology, I am delighted to be joined by Lucy from Seable Holidays. Lucy, how are you?
Hello there. Yes, I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here today. Thank you for inviting me, yeah.
Not a bother. Thanks for joining us. Last time we spoke was back at Sight Village in London.
That's right. Yes, it was a great day, a busy day. But
Very busy.
it's great. It's great to hear from you again.
Absolutely. So, Lucy, I suppose some of our listeners may have heard the gist of this before, but for those who haven't, what is Seable Holidays and what do you guys do?
Yeah, so Seable Holidays. So we are a tour operator that specialises in holidays for the visually impaired community. So Seable's been operating for over 12 years now. It was founded in Sicily by Damiano, and the company began offering assisted accessible holidays in his home region. And then through extensive collaboration with UK charities, Seable's community really expanded, revealing a significant need for holidays specifically tailored to visually impaired individuals. And so much so, we are now the only UK tour operator with trained local sighted guides, providing dedicated support throughout our holidays.
That's unreal,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. And we have different types of holidays we offer. So we do tailored holidays, group holidays, and holidays with charities as well.
Okay, so I suppose, let's say, obviously the majority listening to this will be visually impaired. So let's say I'm visually impaired myself and I just want to do a kind of a standard holiday. You mentioned there are group holidays and so on. So what does the process look like? I call up Seable and then what happens? What does that process look like?
Yeah, of course. So it's all about, personalising the experience to each individual, each customer that we get. So, I would speak a bit to yourself a bit about what type of holiday you're interested in, whether that be, if you want to participate in one of our group trips, if you want to make new friendships, explore the world, in a supportive group environment, because our group holidays are great because we provide sighted guides, tour leaders and local guides that have all had our visual awareness training. And we offer a 2-to-1 assistance ratio every day on our holidays for up to 10 hours a day. Or you could be someone that's interested in a tailored holiday. And with a tailored holiday, there's a lot more flexibility in terms of you get to choose the destination, the activities, and the trip duration. And we provide a trained local guide to assist you, whether you are traveling solo, with family or friends. So we just love to give the opportunity to really personalize the holiday to suit you and your needs. Yeah.
Awesome. And like how popular is this as a service? Because obviously, you know, for sighted people, I guess they're going on holidays on the regular, but that can be a little bit more difficult when people are visually impaired. So like, since Seable has started, like, are many people going on these group holidays? Like, how many group holidays would you do kind of in a year?
Absolutely. So, I believe that there will always be and has always been a need for travel for everybody, whether you're VI or not. And of course, we want the holidays to be as inclusive as possible. So we've got 10 group holidays that we are running this year, which is, incredible because we've got destinations in the UK, in Europe, as far as Southeast Asia. So then there is something for everyone. And of course, each tour incorporates a carefully selected amount of activities and excursions that have been trialled and tested by VI people as well, just to ensure we can keep that high level of service and ensure the accessibility and fun for someone with a visual impairment. Yeah.
Awesome. And like for those kind of holidays, is it much more expensive than say like a regular tour operator, or how does the pricing for these kind of things work? Because obviously, like if there's going to be sighted guides and stuff like that, presumably they get paid, or how does that all work?
Absolutely. So we, of course, want to keep the cost down of our holidays as low as absolutely possible. So when we work with charities, that's an amazing way of us keeping the cost to kind of the bare minimum, meaning that amazingly some charities can part fund or even in some cases fully fund holidays for their members. And of course, our trips that we offer are absolutely quite a bespoke, unique experience. With having the assistance up to 10 hours a day of the local guide. And of course, that ratio of 2-1 on the group tours as well. Just always kind of knowing that you do have that assistance if and when you do need it on your tour. And of course, a lot of work goes into, planning, kind of finding the accessible tours and finding the right accommodation, and then being able to offer that assistance for 10 hours a day. You really are paying for quite a unique experience.
For sure. Yeah, there's a lot in that for sure. And I suppose, how are these trips evolving? Does technology play an increasing role in these trips? I mean, things have probably changed. You mentioned there kind of 12 years that Seable has been operating. How has the landscape changed in that time?
Yeah, I would say, since I went, so I actually being visually impaired myself, I started off being a customer of Seable Holidays. So I really have seen kind of both sides of it. And even since then, in terms of technology, I've seen a lot of people, I would say, because obviously taking photographs and kind of capturing those memories are a big part of anybody's holiday. But I would say in recent years, with the technology of seeing AI and Be My Eyes, I've seen a lot more of a need for customers wanting photographs and kind of wanted to incorporate that and being able to enjoy kind of the images that we share and take on holidays. So on that side of things, I would say it's been really nice to see technology kind of improve that kind of side of the holiday. And of course, I know things such as canes, and that they've improved over the years. And it's the tactile models that we find in all of our cities. They're better than ever. So it's really great to see kind of different places evolve and kind of really put the time and effort into creating things that are accessible for VI people.
And I suppose as the accessibility of the world in general improves, that's going to improve the accessibility of holidays and travel, regardless of, like, for those who are traveling with Seable, but for those also who are just traveling normally as well, just without those kind of tour operator support. Like, travel is, would you say, becoming more accessible generally now?
Yeah, I would say so, because I guess the idea of Seable is that we want to give people the confidence to travel independently if they wanted to. And, sometimes it's just that first step of, us being able to say we can give you that assistance. But thereafter, we've got many customers that, they stay in touch with us and tell us, they've traveled, to all these different places kind of independently. And that is, due to technology and due to the impact that we know Seable directly has on people. So, yeah, it's amazing, really. I know people have done tours all around Europe and, gone as far as Southeast Asia as well by themselves. So it's really great to see, actually. Yeah.
Fantastic. So I suppose to finish off, how can people learn more about Seable, and what kind of holidays for groups have you got coming up this year? So for the year ahead, and can people link in with those now?
Absolutely. So what we've got coming up this year is we still have places left on our Bologna group trip in May. We have spaces available on our long-haul Vietnam and Cambodia holiday. We've just released a new multi-city tour in Italy, which includes Florence, Pisa and Naples. We've just launched Disneyland Paris as well, which is super exciting for us, and many more, actually. So, yes, and to read all about that, any details, prices, it's all on our website, which is seable.co.uk. And
stuff.
Seable is S for Sierra, E for Echo, A for Alpha, B for Beta, L for Lima, E for Echo.co.uk.
Awesome stuff. Lucy, thank you so much for joining us on Talking Technology. And I'm sure you'll be joining us again at some stage. And who knows, maybe some of our listeners will be writing into us to tell us about their Seable holidays experience. It'd be exciting.
Absolutely. That'd be incredible. Thank you so much for your time today. And thank you for having me.
And there you have it. A really interesting company, really unique offering. I know there's... I guess there's some others in the space there. There's Joe, you had experience with another crowd, Travelize, as well. But it really is, I suppose, a niche offering that these companies like Seable provide. But it's a really important service as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an excellent service. Going on holidays can be a difficult thing to do for someone with low vision, and maybe someone with low vision or no vision. It can be very anxious, even thinking about it, going to a new place. And the likes of Seable and other companies, they give us that extra support that we need when we're on holidays, extra confidence, takes the anxiety out of it. And I know it costs a bit extra as well. In some cases it might cost you double, but you will get the service you need to enjoy your holiday and give you and be able to enjoy those experiences that you want to do like everybody else on a holiday. So I think it's definitely worthwhile trying at least once for a single person or a couple or a family or whatever way you want to do your holidays. But it's definitely worth trying it sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great idea. And Joe, I suppose for people, you mentioned there, things like the airports and all of these, they can be a bit stressful, but there are ways to reduce the stress, and technology can play a part in that, whether it's air tags or whether it's using other technology as well. I know you can use PRM Assist in some of the airports in Ireland here as well. That's an app that you can download for your phone to request assistance. But what kind of technology can help people on holidays, Joe?
Yeah, well, there's many that you've mentioned a few of them already. The air tags, finding your bags. Bags are notorious for going missing in luggage carriers, and I suppose throwing an air tag in your biggest luggage is a good idea, so you can track it and see where it is in the Find My app on your iPhone. There's also tile, I suppose, for Google, but I don't think it's probably not as good as the AirTag, but that's debatable. Also, I suppose Google Maps, any of those mobility apps when you're away as well, you can go into Google Maps and you can check out the reviews of restaurants and points of interest as you go beside them, if you know what I mean. So as you go close to points of interest, it'll all appear in Google Maps. You can also use it to navigate when you're abroad in a strange place. It might help you to, I suppose, to get to your destination if you're in short walking distance to somewhere. And Soundscape, of course, What's Around Me. So a famous app that we helped take over their Soundscape community. That's another good one to have on your phone. With Apple Intelligence, soon that'll be on the way, and we might hear something about that in the news soon. But with Apple Intelligence, you'll be able to take a picture of a famous place or a restaurant, and then you'll get an option to even get the menu to pop up of that restaurant on your phone. So all those little things on your smartphone, even the "Where am I" feature when you're lost, that might be useful to ask your virtual assistant, "Where am I?" and will tell you the road you're on and stuff. And those little tips, just keep the phone charged and have your data roam and all sorted before you go anywhere, and you're on the ball then, David, and hopefully your holiday will work out.
Absolutely. And I suppose even depending on where you're going, everywhere has different kind of accessibility setups. I know even in Spain, they have a whole load of NaviLens codes everywhere. That if you were using even the public transport in some parts of Spain, that you can use NaviLens to get information, kind of like the real-time information set up over here. So there's different technology in different countries, which is really handy. And there's some really cool tools.
Exactly, Dave. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, NaviLens, they were one that they're trying to break into that accessible QR code space. And if we get them in every part of the world, that's the issue, I suppose. It's not everywhere. So how do you know where they are? But that's another useful feature, the QR code scanning from a distance. And just want to point out, I suppose, while we're on the subject, before we move on, to give a shout out to some accessible apps or websites that are out there. If you want to topflight.ie, which is a holiday company, they have a great website for searching for holidays. They were one of the best ones I've looked at, just as we'll say a mainstream site. They do a really great job on their accessibility, and it's easier than a lot of other websites that I won't mention. I won't shame them, but I find that Topflight is one of the best ones for searching for your prices of holidays, of just your normal holidays. These aren't assisted holidays now. And Centre Parks, another great place for somebody to go with a disability on a holiday, because everything is on site for you. I know the cabins are probably 10-15 minute walk away from the village, but Centre Parks provide a mobility service, which is provided by the security service in Centre Parks, and they can give you a lift from your cabin down to the village, and you can go to any of the restaurants, or you can use the swimming pool, which is amazing, actually. And they have a guest services room in Centre Parks as well to help anybody that has any inquiries. So there are another couple of options for people if they want to get the thinking cap on for holidays, maybe this year or next year.
Definitely some great options there. We'd love to hear people's different travel experiences, because I think the more information that's out there about accessible travel, the better, because it makes it more manageable then for everyone who's taking on these challenges and who's experimenting with going to different parts of the world, whether it's more accessible, less accessible, or what your experience was. We'd absolutely love to hear from you. And that website as well for Seable, you can just go to their website. It's seable.co.uk. So for now, thank you so much, Joe. And thank you again to Lucy for joining us from Seable to tell us all about what they have coming up this year. It's time for us to take an ad break now, but after that, don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back with some Talking Technology news. And there's some fascinating news in there this week, people.
Talking Technology with VI Labs continues after this. Don't go anywhere.
At Vision Ireland, we're here to support people with sight loss through every stage of life. From helping children thrive in school to guiding young adults into further education and empowering career success, our tailored services make a difference. Call Vision Ireland today at 1800 911 250 or make a referral through our website at www.vi.ie to learn how we can support you and your loved one on their journey.
Every day in Ireland, 18 people begin to lose their sight. This startling statistic becomes even more heartbreaking when you learn that 75% of blindness is preventable with early intervention. If you or someone you love is experiencing difficulties with their eyesight, don't wait. Call Vision Ireland today at 1800 911 250 or make a referral through our website at www.vi.ie. We're here to help because sight matters.
This ad break is over.
Thank you, Joe. Yes, it is time for the Nuacht now. And yes, we have some really exciting news this week, including a new club for JAWS users.
This is Talking Technology News.
With your latest Talking Technology News, I'm Daniel Dunn. The team at Dutch assistive technology company Envision have launched a new app called Ally. Ally aims to achieve a similar goal to other apps in the space like Be My Eyes and Aria, but the approach is completely different. Rather than taking a photo and asking follow-up questions, users can start a conversation with their Ally, and if it needs to look at something using the phone camera, then it will. If you think of other apps as like having a text conversation, Ally is a bit more like having a phone call. You can give your Ally a personality and it can learn your likes and dislikes. So if it's looking at info like a menu or just searching the web, the aim is that it will give you the answers that are more contextually relevant to you. Excitingly, the app is available for free and can be downloaded on the App Store. It's a bit hard to find at the moment, but if you search Envision Ally, then it should show up for you, and that's Envision with an E. More competition in the space is good, and it seems like Envision have shipped a really strong product. Let us know your thoughts with a WhatsApp voice note. In other news, Apple have yet again delayed the release of their new enhanced Siri. The release, which was originally set for April, has now been pushed back again, with Apple only saying that their new features will arrive later this year. Apple Intelligence has had a rocky start, with it fair to say that Apple has fallen behind some of their main competitors like Samsung and Google. We here in Ireland might see some Apple Intelligence features roll out in the April release of iOS 18.4, but some of the most revolutionary features could still be a bit away. Apple isn't the only company to have struggled with AI delays, as Amazon faced similar issues, but with shareholders still demanding advancements in AI, everyone continues to be desperate to catch up with OpenAI and ChatGPT. iOS 19 will tell a lot for Apple, so we can probably expect to hear much more around June's WWDC. Would you rather Apple released what they've got, or do you think they are right to wait until the technology is more refined? Share your thoughts with us with a voice note. And finally, for now, Vispero, the makers of JAWS for Windows screen readers, have announced that the Insert J Club is an exclusive club for JAWS users. The club, which was announced at the CSUN Assistive Technology Conference, will provide a number of exclusive perks for JAWS users, including early access to announcements, online training sessions, and opportunities to provide feedback to the JAWS team. The Insert J Club aims to celebrate 30 years of JAWS for Windows, which was first released back in 1995. JAWS has maintained a significant popularity since then, but competitors like NVDA have been catching up in recent years. Speaking about the new offering, Ryan Jones, Vice President at Software Product Management at Vispero, said the Insert J Club isn't just about providing resources, it's about listening to our users and involving with them. This community will give us a direct line to JAWS users, allowing us to better understand their needs and shape future innovations. Vispero are really looking to attract users to the new club with a competition to win all your minutes available to those who join early. Will the club be a success? Let us know your thoughts now. And that's it for your news for this week. A reminder that we also have lots of clubs available to discuss technology all around the country. If you'd like to join a local technology club, just send an email to labs@vi.ie. But for now, though, it's back to you, David.
Thanks, Daniel. Yes, this is a really interesting one. So we'll start off with Apple Intelligence getting delayed again, Daniel. Again,
yeah. You know, I'm really starting to feel sorry for anyone who kind of went out and, you know, bought an iPhone 16 with the, you know, and with the hope that Apple Intelligence was going to be on it, and then they've been told no, it's pushed back, and now it's been pushed back again. I can only assume that lots of those users are very disappointed with this news and this further setback.
Yeah, it's become a bit, I suppose, ridiculous. I actually had a chance to try Apple Intelligence as part of the 18.4 beta, and it's very rocky. Access-wise,
Okay.
it's not refined. You know, it really isn't refined. And I know it's a beta, but it feels like it's more than just a month away, if that makes sense. You know, like I noticed like the Genmoji feature is not working with VoiceOver at all. The Siri features are cool, but they're hit and miss.
Okay.
And just this morning, I was trying to use the writing tools, and the writing tools, I think the implementation is good, but it was like, oh, this isn't available right now. It just kept kind of crashing or whatever. It's a bit rocky, and I think they've definitely got quite a road to go. Plus the fact that they're relying so heavily, like it's basically just ChatGPT. It's not even Apple's own technology, so I think they've really got to up their game, and I think iOS 19 will definitely tell a lot. You know.
Yeah, it's a pity that but I suppose at least you've had privy to behind the scenes. You know, most people out there, you know, don't sign up for the beta iOS releases, so they don't get to test some of the features that can come and go in beta builds, you know. But out of it all, David, like, because you've tested, is there any kind of part of Apple Intelligence that you would say that if that was, you know, rolled out as a one-time feature, you know, splice it off from the main overall Apple Intelligence, like would the Siri improvements, were they closer to finished than, let's say, you know, the likes of emojis and other things like that?
I think they're close on a few fronts. I think the visual intelligence feature, once that's refined with VoiceOver, I think that will be really good. I think the writing tools, again, while they weren't working, I think once they do get it right, I like the implementation. I think, like, I get the vision. I think they're heading in the right direction, but at the moment, I think they're struggling to, like, they know what they want to do, they just can't get it to work, is kind of how it feels right now. Do you know that kind of way?
Okay. Yeah, like, I think, like, I don't want to say everyone, but lots of people, you know, take good advantage of Siri. And I think often for people to say, well, Siri is good, it'd be great if Siri was clever. And I think if they come on with, you know, a new and improved Siri as, you know, kind of an olive branch to service users, you know, sorry we're taking so long with the overall Apple Intelligence platform, but here's Siri Advanced. I think that would help people quite a good bit, because, well, Siri is good, it can be better. It could be better.
I think the biggest problem they have is, it was almost a joke. You would use Siri and it would say, "Here's something I found on the web," and it was almost like it was just, "Oh, come on, Siri, just give us a little bit at least." And now it's almost like it's replaced that phrase with, "Here's a response from ChatGPT." Now, now it will read it if voiceover is enabled, but only if voiceover is enabled. So that, I think, is one of the biggest misses that they've got here. Even if you have, like, there's an option that it says prefer spoken responses. Even when you have that ticked, it's just, here's a response from ChatGPT. And you're like, Siri, come on. You're so close here. The responses aren't even that bad. It's just they're so close, but yet they've got little bits that they just need to refine. It's just not quite ready yet,
Yeah. I think what we need to see, from somebody, whether it's Google or Apple, as was, being the two biggest software manufacturers for phones at the moment, that you really need the AI to get into the phone. Like, it's, anyone can get that. Here's what I found on the web. Anyone can do a Google search themselves, or even, Google search with a voice command. So what you need is, you need to be able to ask your phone assistant, in Gmail. I got an email from Joel Lonergan back in November. It was something to do with the Christmas party. Can you find me that email?
Yeah.
And it needs to go into the app. It needs to go through all your messages. It needs to bring that message up and say, here you are.
Yeah. And we're nowhere near that now. We're nowhere near that, which I think is a shame.
I think that's where it needs to get to before, and there's, there's talks of paying for AI and all this. That's the level where it's worth paying a few quid for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And until then, don't keep your begging ball in the press. Don't don't come out with a begging ball until it does this.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's slightly negative news from Apple this week. But
very disappointing,
but positive news from the team at Envision show. They have released a new Ally app, and I'll be honest, I really like the Ally app. They've done some really cool stuff with this. Very different from something like Seeing AI or Be My AI, Joe.
Yeah, it's great news that actually they've released this, and I know we have an interview coming up with them soon, and they'll be able to tell us all about it. But they're really good actually at listening to customer feedback as well. How do you find it, David?
I find it good. I think what I like about it, and we will definitely cover it more in the newsletter and in a future podcast, but what I like about the Ally is they've just got a lot of stuff right. You don't have to touch the screen to interact with it. You can just talk to it naturally. You can ask it a question, but you can just as easily be like, here, you can name your ally. You can just be like, here, David, read this to me, and it'll do it for you. Or look at this, tell me what you see, or whatever the story is. And what I really liked, and it's such a small detail, but when you're setting it up, it actually talks to you and brings you through a process where it will ask you what you like, what you don't like, and anything you wanted to know. And what I like about that is it actually is a brilliant way I found of getting someone used to having a conversation with it naturally, because it will kind of ask the questions and it gets the person more comfortable with actually asking it questions and having a back and forth with this AI bot effectively. But no, it's a really interesting little app. I see the potential, and it's available for free. I don't know how they'll make it sustainable in the longer term, but we'll ask them that. But it is an interesting little app,
Oh, good. I like to hear a positive AI story and someone that's innovating after hearing some feedback as well. I know it has been a while coming, but it sounds like it's going to be really good.
Absolutely. Now, Joe, I do want to ask you about this. You're a JAWS user. Will you be joining the Insert J Club?
I don't think so, David. All I want from my favourite screen reader is JAWS to be down around the affordable mark. Look, I can't name a price, I suppose. Look, it goes in special the odd time, what it used to. I don't think it does anymore. It went in special a few times for €150. But I think the criticism I'd have is needing the price of a small car. Well, that's a bit of exaggeration, isn't it? The €1,000 or whatever.
It's not. You can get some cheap cars on Dundee these days, they tell me.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, we won't be driving anytime soon, David. But true. Yeah, I get you. It's every 3 years when my software maintenance agreement is up, we've a big anxiety of paying out on JAWS again. And look, I know it's an amazing technology, and they really should keep up the good work. I suppose it's good to have an exclusive group or special group, yeah. But that's what I want to hear from JAWS is maybe if they had a backer or a different way of making the screen reader more affordable to the everyday user. That's what I want to hear, David.
Yeah, it's like I see the appeal with like the Insert J Club, and like I think, you know, that there is potential, and some people will love it, and it's great that they are providing things like free training and stuff like that. That's obviously brilliant. But I think there are a lot of things that JAWS needs to innovate on in some ways. Technology has moved forward a lot. Do you know, I've mentioned it on the podcast before. I would love to see the ability to, you know how like a lot of like AI chatbots and stuff like that can code and stuff now and do all of these incredible things. I think it would be amazing if you could just have a conversation with a chatbot and have it write JAWS scripts for you to make websites more accessible and stuff like that. I think that is an area I'd love to see JAWS, like, you know, really innovate on and stuff like that. But right now, in terms of like cost, purely by the fact that it's free, NVDA is kicking JAWS around the place in a way, isn't it?
It is for the personal user. I think for the work in employment, I think JAWS is still ahead. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. NVDA is breaking in and taking a big chunk of that market, mainly because it's free. So if NVDA can do something and make a great product for free, I think JAWS could do it for maybe a lower price. I know JAWS or Freedom Scientific make many other products as well. But so I think, look, the JAWS product, brilliant product, and Freedom Scientific are doing a great job. And a bit of innovation, having an exclusive club, I don't have any problem with that. As you said, training, big thing, massive thing when it comes to keeping people up in tune with this digital era we live in. And I hope to keep up the good work.
I just want to know as well, when's the Zoom Text Club coming? And what are we calling it? I know that they had. Do you remember they had the assistants in? It was Sharky in JAWS. They still exist. Great features actually. Sharky in JAWS and Zoomy in Zoom Text. I want to join the Zoomy Club.
Zoomy Club, yeah, that sounds kind of exclusive. Yeah. The Zoomy Club. Yeah. Well, look, patent that idea. They'll have to buy it off you, David.
Yeah, I want to. We've said it here now. This is Vision Ireland's intellectual property. I want to join the Zoomy Club. But yeah, who knows? A cheaper JAWS, maybe someday. Time will tell. But do let us know what you think of the Insert J Club. It was announced by Vispero at CSUN this week. Let us know your thoughts. You can send us a voice note on that, or the cost of assistive technology, what you think of the new Ally app, or if you're annoyed or happy enough with the delays to Apple Intelligence. Anything like that at all, we'd love to hear from you. 086 199 0011. That's 086 199 0011. But for now, that's our show. Thank you so much for listening. We've had a really packed show this week, from CSUN to Seable to all the latest talking technology news. But that is it. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with another episode of Talking Technology. So do subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, or on YouTube. You can search for VI Labs Technology there, and you will find us. But for now, thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next time.
Thanks for listening to the Talking Technology podcast with VI Labs. If you'd like to support our show, please visit vi.ie/donate. Talking Technology is proudly sponsored by IA Labs, the market leader in digital accessibility services. IA Labs, digital inclusion, your legal obligation.